All right, so today we're going to talk about how to pinpoint where you're out of alignment with your marketing and what to do next using your human design. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this live training today. I'm so excited to be here. And the inspiration behind this training that I'm doing today is, of course, because I really am involved in human design, alignment, and helping my clients understand where they're actually out of alignment and how to hone in and get a little bit laser focused on where that misalignment is happening and how to make refined adjustments to it rather than burning things down in your business, and how to create more of that alignment. So this training was inspired by a past client that I worked with. So let me tell you about this client that I worked with in the past. She had built a consistent income in her business. And she had done this through networking. She had done this through referrals, and she was feeling stuck at this point where she was working to implement a next level strategy. So if you kind of have been there, if you are listening to me, if you follow me, likely you've had some success in business. You've built your business to this certain point. And with this particular client, she had built her business through networking, through referrals, and she had a lot of success with that. But going forward, she was looking at implementing like her next level of marketing and that strategy that came along with it. So she was feeling stuck with the implementation of that. So this client was an OBM. She had booked ongoing retainer clients. She was looking to market a new offer that would allow her to have an additional income stream outside of her high ticket services that she was offering as an OBM. She was also a busy mom outside of her business, traveling with 3 kids, making time to be there for their after school activities, for their events and activities on the weekends. And so her time was limited, and she was just stuck, struggling with this consistency and determining what was working and what wasn't working in her marketing and her content creation. So she already had this business that was successful. She already had a consistent income coming in. She was also a mom outside of her business. And so time was limited, and she had to make the most of it and really understanding what would work and what wouldn't. She was struggling with that, and then also struggling with within herself, being able to implement the strategy that was given to her consistently. And many of us have been there. We have either early stages of business, we've been there. We've been given the strategies from a business coach, from a program, from a course we took or something. And it's a proven system that's likely worked for that person that developed it and maybe some other people that have implemented it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a one size fits all strategy. And that's what many of us do, is we try to take these strategies that we're given, these marketing strategies, content creation strategies, and just implement it just the same exact way that the person that created it did. And that's where we can notice some of these things where we get stuck or we feel this resistance that comes up. So with this particular client, she was just stuck in this cycle of showing up in her new marketing strategy inconsistently. And that led to a lack of clarity of understanding like what was working and what was not. And it also led to inconsistency in the results and the income that she was seeing. So it's very, very frustrating to be in that situation of trying to figure out what's working, what's not working, not having the clarity. And then also somewhere along the lines, something is adding to that frustration and something is adding to that difficulty. There's resistance there for the implementation of that strategy. And so with her, after her and I worked together to uncover a few key areas of her human design, and kind of pulling that through my unique process of focusing in on leveraging the right parts of your human design chart, and pulling out specific parts that I could see where she was struggling, pull those specific pieces out of her chart, and then look at different ways we could apply that into her marketing. So in her marketing, in her content creation, she was able to make some simple tweaks to what she was already doing, to her current marketing, and then also kind of walk away feeling empowered to implement her marketing strategy in a way that worked for her. And it worked so much better for her because it really played into her own unique strengths and how she's designed to approach these bigger things that we do in business. So content creation, the messaging that you're putting out there, the marketing, the way that you're going about your marketing systems, even on the back end, conversations that you're having, things like that. And that led to more consistency in her marketing and ultimately the results that she was seeing. So that's just kind of a little rundown of what inspired this. So if you guys are completely new to hopping on with me today, joining me today for this training, and if we haven't yet met, my name is Jen Dice. I am a physical therapist turned Pinterest marketing agency owner turned human design coach. And I empower women in business to step into their greater purpose, show up in their brand unapologetically, and make money in a way that fuels their soul, leveraging the power of their human design. So what we're talking about today, if you're just hopping on, just joining me, is how to pinpoint where you're out of alignment in your marketing and what to do next using your human design. So I'll talk about a couple of key questions that I went through with this client, and these are a few couple of key takeaways that you guys can ask yourself and kind of implement that into your business going forward if you are noticing some of the similar resistances in different areas or parts of your marketing. And so if you are completely new to human design, I will also add that if you don't know what your human design type is, if you're like, Jen, I'm new to this, I'm interested in learning more, there will be a link that comes with this training. I will drop it in the notes below that come with this training. And if you grab that resource, it will show you, number one, where to go to get your human design chart, how to get your human design type, and then just a few key points from your human design chart that you can pull out, completely reducing the overwhelm that I do hear a lot of people say about looking at their human design chart for the first time. So this resource will kind of help you simplify it, understand what your human design type is, and there's a few free tutorials that come with that so that you can work on different ways to actually implement your human design. Then you can come back to this training and really start to go through some of these questions, a couple of these questions that we're going to go through together. So with this particular client, so she was a busy OBM, busy mom, and she had built her business, built her one-to-one high ticket services out, and now was looking to market and up level her marketing to work on filling and scaling an offer that could allow for an additional income stream in her business, growing her business, and scaling on her time as well. So the first question I want you to ask yourself is, do you feel out of alignment with your marketing? So this is something that I talked to this client about, and because sometimes when it comes to we're feeling these feelings of frustration, bitterness, like resentment towards our business, it doesn't always come from your marketing. It could come from another source. So just kind of ask yourself, do you feel out of alignment with your marketing? So kind of look at your marketing right now. Think about the things that you're doing from a marketing perspective and just ask yourself and be completely honest. Do you feel out of alignment with any of it at any place, way, shape, or form? And this is important because in human design, when you're feeling those feelings of frustration, of resentment, of bitterness towards your marketing, you're feeling you're feeling frustrated and you're out of alignment, it's so possible to be able to make a simple shift that can make a massive difference in how you're not only implementing your marketing and showing up in your marketing and getting your message out there, but also in the results that you're seeing on the back end and ultimately the clients that you're working with, right? And so that simple shift can make all the difference. So we call this in human design, when you're feeling that frustration and out of alignment, those feelings of frustration, bitterness, anger, resentment towards something in your marketing. In human design, we call this your quote unquote not self theme. And to simplify that, it just means that when those feelings are coming up, it is a flag that shows you where you're out of alignment in some way, shape, or form. So if we're looking at your marketing and those types of feelings are coming up, or resistance, or feeling blocked, or just feeling like you're just not able to do something consistently, or you don't want to, things like that, that's just a sign that you're kind of in that quote unquote not self theme, or just out of alignment in some way, shape, or form. So it's kind of like if you are following like your GPS to stay in your lane with your business, with your brand, and with your marketing. It's to help you stay in your lane. So the lane that you're supposed to be in, so that you don't miss your exit, or you don't end up having to veer across 4 lanes of traffic. I don't know if you can relate that feeling to a feeling you might have experienced in a launch or in some marketing campaigns that you've done, or some content that you've created. So that's just kind of how it ties in, is when you're noticing those feelings of frustration, those feelings of coming up, resistance, it's just a sign that you're out of alignment somewhere. And when you ask yourself that question, it helps to create some awareness of, okay, if I can ask that question, you can start to pinpoint where that might be coming from. And we can also do a little bit of a deeper dive through the lens of human design to kind of pinpoint that a little bit more. But for you, when you just ask that question of, do you feel out of alignment with your marketing? It automatically will help. Your brain will start to think along the lines of where that could be showing up for you. And what that allows for you is more awareness of, okay, well, where are these feelings coming up? Because marketing in and of itself is a big bucket. Like, there's a lot of pieces. It's a big bucket in your business, and there's a lot of pieces and parts that go into your marketing. Like, you have your branding, you have your messaging, you have your content, you have like the launches that you're doing, things like that. There's a lot of different pieces and parts. So it's looking at where specifically do you notice that feeling coming up more? Is it specifically with some of the content that you are creating, the way you're going about creating your content, the way that you're trying to create a different level of messaging or content to speak to a new level or next level of client, the way that you're creating content around a completely different offer and finding your footing there, anchoring in your messaging there, and then going about just other ways that you are consistently showing up, maybe behind the scenes in your marketing, to kind of keep the momentum going, to keep yourself being more visible, to continue to bring in those leads into your business. So when you're looking along those lines and thinking about, where you feel out of alignment with your marketing, this just helps to pinpoint things so that you don't end up letting that level of frustration or that level of bitterness or resentment for something in your business that's out of alignment. It could be one small thing that's out of alignment, but if that continues to grow and grow and grow, that level of frustration, that's where we as entrepreneurs get into that frame of mind of like, I'm just not going to show up. I'm just going to burn and just get rid of this entire offer. I'm going to just burn something down. And so that's the beauty of when you create that awareness and figuring out where you're out of alignment, and you ask yourself that question, and you kind of, how human design comes into that, it just helps you create more awareness so that you can get a little bit more focused on that one thing, and you can refine that one thing and also keep the momentum going in your business. So that was the first question. The second question that I asked this client, and I want you to ask yourself too, is, are you actually working with the right clients? So this is a telltale sign too, because I've worked with many clients, not just this client, but many clients that will come to me and they have these feelings of frustration and burnout and feeling maxed out and just, very, very drained from their business at the end of the day. And when you dive into is it your marketing, things like that, the other side of that marketing is the clients that you end up booking, the clients you end up working with, the offers you are delivering on, where you're showing up to deliver the value. So are you actually working with the right clients? It's important because there's a big difference in booking clients, just booking clients, and booking the right clients. And in human design, when you're not aligned in your marketing, from an energetic standpoint, like your people perceive that on the people that are reading your posts, watching your videos. Like when you're not in a full alignment with your marketing, with your message, your people pick up on that. Everybody can kind of pick up on where you're at energetically, and from that perspective, you're less likely to attract the right people. Which can lead to bigger problems down the road, because then you're ultimately ending up maybe working and booking with clients that aren't that full on dream client, soul aligned client that is really the right perfect fit or better energetic match for you. And so this is another thing where if you're just kind of going through the motions of your marketing on the front end, and you're just pumping out content, or you're starting a bajillion conversations and it's just go, 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 hustle, hustle, and you're just checking the boxes, but it's not fully in alignment with you, and you're experiencing or feeling a certain level of frustration from your marketing, the flip side of that is on the the results end of that is looking at the clients that you're working with, looking at how you're feeling at the end of the day after you're doing your work, the people that are showing up for you, the people that are kind of coming towards you, are they the right people? And so that can ultimately lead to like that bigger problem of just having not just the frustration with something that's a little bit out of alignment with your marketing, but then on the end of that, the results of that or the consequences of that are working with those clients that just aren't the right fit for you. They drain you a little bit more. And then you have that frustration on the other side of your business too. So this is kind of like, if I were to equate it to something, it's kind of like going camping with a leaky tent versus staying in like a 5-star like camper house on wheels in the same place. With the tent, you're still in the same place as the person that's staying in the 5-star camper, but your experience is completely different, especially when it rains. So thinking along those lines of you could still be in the same place as somebody else running the same kind of business, or somebody else that's in the same place as your business is at. But if you are doing so in a way that you're just kind of tolerating that sense of frustration, and you're tolerating some of that misalignment in your marketing, and you're tolerating some of the frustration and some of the draining or some of the burnout on the back end with the clients, it's going to be that experience of, it's like camping with a leaky tent. I don't know. We've all maybe been there, tried, like, I don't know. So it's just something to think about, where you're in the same place, but you're just having a completely different experience than somebody that is really shoring up and focusing in and anchoring in on creating a marketing system that really is in alignment for them and truly works for them. So I hope this was helpful for you guys today. And like I said, if you are completely new to human design, there is a link below that comes with this training. I'll drop it below, and then you can grab that. It will show you how to grab your human design type. It'll highlight a couple of key pieces from your chart, completely simplify it for you, so you don't have to do it on your own and get overwhelmed and not, I've heard that before, the overwhelm of looking at your human design. And then it will give you a couple of great tutorials of how to start applying it. But once you have that basic information, you have a little bit of your human design information, asking yourself these 2 questions when we're looking at pinpointing where you're out of alignment in your marketing and what to do next with your human design, is the first question I want you to ask yourself is, do you feel out of alignment with your marketing? And if you do, where? And the second question I want you to ask yourself is, are you actually working with the right clients? The first question is going to help you create awareness as to where you may or may not be in alignment with your marketing on the front end. And the second question is going to shine a light on the truth of the results of what's happening on the front end, because it's really going to shine through in the clients that you're working with and the way that you're serving, the offers, the containers that you're showing up in and delivering in. And that also, you have to have some awareness around how you're feeling at the end of the day of doing the work, of pouring your energy into those clients, because that's going to show you a little bit more truth as to whether or not the marketing on the front end is actually in alignment for you. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see you guys again next week. All right. Bye, everyone.